Welcome to Upticks. I'm Jake Falcon, the founder of Falcon Wealth Advisors and your host of Upticks. Today is episode 117, Making Money Post-Election. Okay, thank you for joining me back on the show. I hope that all of you out there are staying safe and healthy during this horrible pandemic. As of the recording of this show, it's looking like Joe Biden is going to take over as president and that the Congress is going to remain divided. Now, I'm also sure that President Trump may dispute it, and so we'll probably see what that road looks like leading up to the next several weeks or maybe even months. But let's just say that Biden does hold the presidency and that the Congress does remain divided. So what now? How do you make money in this type of environment? And if you remember from my previous episodes, I commented on how gridlock is normally good for the markets. Now, it's sometimes very frustrating as citizens because typically when you have gridlock, not a lot gets accomplished. I'll tell you though, anything that does get pushed through more than likely will be very watered down. So I don't expect this huge green energy spending to happen. I don't expect taxes to go up. And I don't expect, I expect maybe some spending on infrastructure, but certainly not nearly as much, maybe as a blue wave would have dictated. What I do expect though are the capital markets to do well from this environment. I think that the big tech conglomerates may have some headwinds, and I think the big pharma may have some headwinds. And so that's what we are going to be paying very close attention to at Falcon Wealth Advisors as far as rotating which stocks we want to add positions to or remove from. I'm proud to report that our neutral stance leading into the market held up very well for our clients. And again, that's something that's it's fresh on everybody's mind, that if you would have sold out of the market or done something dramatic, you may have missed out on a potential good run up, right? We don't know though. Every day is volatile, week by week, month to month. The key though is time in the market, not timing the market. And we certainly do not want to be invested in third-party mutual funds or index funds during times of volatility. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick with our diversified portfolio. We're going to rotate based on where we think companies have the best potential to thrive under the new administration's environment and go from there. And that's all you really can do. And again, you don't want to throw your financial plan out the window because of a presidential election. You don't want to throw your financial plan out of the window because of COVID. You want to take a step back. You want to take a deep breath, and you want to adjust and make good informed decisions, right? And it's much better to let the dust settle rather than just getting involved in all the commotion and out there trying to make adjustments, right? So we feel the best way to make money post-election is to stick with your financial plan, stay diversified, and then we love the fact that we pick individual stocks. We want to rotate into individual stocks that we think are going to thrive under the new administrations. Once we have further confirmation of what that's going to look like and are fully certain of what it's going to be, then we'll rotate and we'll adjust accordingly. And that's how you do it. It's really that simple. Now, we feel that it's a full-time job at Falcon Wealth Advisors, and that's why clients hire us to do it. I think it's very dangerous if you try to do it on your own, for the simple fact, one, it takes every business day of looking at things and researching things to stay on top of it. And if you decide to mail it in for a week or two or a month, you might miss something. And then two, because we're humans, emotions get involved. And it's very easy to hit that buy button or sell button if you're trying to make trades on your own. So again, hire Falcon Wealth Advisors or a fiduciary-minded practice like ours to make unemotional, informed decisions based on macro environment situations and go from there. I think the bond environment is going to be very interesting as far as making money in bonds right now is going to be tough. Interest rates, as most people have known, have plummeted. So buying new bonds, I think you have to be very careful. And so we're looking at different alternatives like preferred stock or dividend paying stocks or trading options. So again, I think there's some opportunity there to do some different things in an income generating asset, but I'd be careful on just buying bonds. If your advisor is still just buying you bonds or putting you in a bond fund, I'd be very wary of that. So you want to be careful of that. You also want to keep bonds in your portfolio because typically, and not always, they might have some sort of close to negative, or at least they're uncorrelated with the stock market. Sometimes they all do move together when things get crazy, certainly. But they do offer another level of diversification. But that's what you do. And you stick with your plan. Adjust into stocks is what we're going to do that we think will benefit from the current administration. And if you're a client of Falcon Wealth Advisors and you want to know specifics on those individual stocks, I'm happy to talk about that. And then again, continue with bonds as their allocation, but also be open-minded into looking at maybe some preferred stocks, some maybe dividend-paying stocks, or trading some options. Of course, we want to see what that does to the overall risk profile before we start doing anything like that. But it's definitely something that we'll be looking ahead to in the fourth quarter of 2020, moving into 2021. Okay, so that's where we stand today. I hope, again, like I said, that all of you are staying safe and healthy. For my fun topic, I've got a quarter zip on today. It's foggy in Kansas City in November, but I'm going to go try to play some golf maybe this afternoon. I think it's going to get in the 70s, believe it or not. And it'll be kind of fun to go out there and hit the golf ball around a little bit today and get some exercise. But that's really all I've got for you fun-wise. I can't recommend this book enough. I talked about it last week. I've still got it on my desk here, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Really good book. It's full of tons of little nuggets of wisdom and ways to think about things. So if you haven't picked up a copy, I would certainly encourage you to consider it. And again, I hope that all of you are staying safe and healthy, remaining patient, and not getting too caught up in the election and certainly the post-election activities. Thank you again for tuning in, and I hope that all of you have a great week. Oh, one quick thing I forgot to mention, I'm out there on all of the social media platforms. So if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast platform, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. A thumbs up button would greatly be appreciated. And I personally am out there on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Feel free to connect. I always love growing my network. And then our team, Falcon Wealth Advisors, we're also out there on all the various social media platforms. I also want to give a quick plug to my business partners, Corey Bittner. If you want more great content from Falcon Wealth Advisors, he has his own show that he publishes weekly as well called In the Money Insight. And you can find that on our Falcon Wealth Advisors YouTube channel or on your favorite podcast platform. Also, my other colleague, James Lewis, is publishing his own podcast. He doesn't have a video, but he does have a podcast called Financial Philosophy, where he takes a deep dive. He has been taking a deep dive into pensions. So if you have a pension, you're going to get a pension, or you know someone, I'd encourage you to go check out his podcast series where he's going very much in detail on what pensions look like and some of the pros and cons and features of them and how to understand them better. Again, that's all the time that I do have for you this week. Thank you again for tuning in, and I hope all of you have a great week.